some of the games that are coming out in the future? I mean, what still gets you up in the morning and excited about the future of where Blizzard can take gaming next?
Say that again.
What excites you about where gaming can go next? You've done so many Blizzard games over all these years. I mean, where are you excited about where things are going?
I think some of the most exciting things revolve around the communities that are building up around gaming and around specific games. The Blizzard community is really important to us, as evidenced by this big convention that we're hosting.
Throw a big party for them.
Yeah, it's like hosting a party for 26,000 of your closest friends, plus the 50,000 viewers at home.
Right, that's true.
So I'm really excited to see, the convergence of we've got Twitter going on and people are on Facebook and all that stuff. And I think that what's going to be really exciting is sort of a convergence of social networking with the gaming communities. And, we recognize that that's probably going to be really critical to the future. And we think Battle.net can be something that we can leverage for that. And everyone should probably check out the Battle.net panel this afternoon because they're going to talk about some really cool stuff.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of announcements that come out of that tonight. We're excited.
Yeah, it should be a really great panel.
Now, speaking of Twitter, we actually are on Twitter now where fans can tweet us questions. And my Twitter account, @JeffKeighley, we've been getting some responses from some fans. Let's see what they have to ask you, Frank, specifically. They say, Frank, many people are wondering if WoW will ever turn into an Xbox game. Many of my friends really want to know this. That's from Xenon Zephyr 360.
I think you asked me this last year.
We can ask it. It's not us.
It's a discussion topic that comes up periodically. That would be a big undertaking, and we have limited resources available to us, and we're passionate console gamers as well at Blizzard. So it's nothing that we have specific plans for, but we are talking about, World of Warcraft, maybe not the right game at this point for console, because we're going to be celebrating the 5th anniversary of the launch, and because we've developed so much content over the course of 5 years, it's like 10 years worth of work to try to translate to the console. That could be a pretty huge undertaking. But we're aware that we have a lot of console gamers within our community, and we're talking about, what games we're working on that are coming down the pipe that we might be able to contemplate that from the get-go. Because I think it's very difficult to do something like that when you're retrofitting it as compared to when you're doing it right from the start.
Also, we're making all these changes with race class combinations that you talked about. We had a question on Twitter, are we going to get more character slots? Are you guys talking about that internally?
Not that I recall. I'm sure that it's come up in some of the discussions as it relates to that. No specific plans that I'm aware of, but certainly I'll take it back and talk to Jay Brack about it.
I think that the community would like you to.
Got it.
All right, let's get another
more slots per realm.
Another Twitter question for you, Frank. This one comes from Julie Cater, who says, with the StarCraft 2 delay, is that going to affect the release date of the first add-on? It seems like Battle.net 2 is the bigger problem now. So I guess the suggestion is that you've talked about how StarCraft 2 will be sort of 3 different distinct games. Right.
We're talking about telling the story over the course of 3 products, 2 of which would be expansions post-launch to the original. And yeah, the delay of the original will definitely affect the schedule of the subsequent titles. The same team that works on the original StarCraft 2 is going to be the crew of guys that are going to be working on the Zerg campaign, the Protoss campaign. So it'll definitely have an impact.
Right.
What are we playing on the show floor here today? We haven't had a chance to see it yet.
As far as StarCraft 2 goes, we're giving everyone that's in attendance a glimpse of the campaign for StarCraft 2, which is, I think what we've done is really,
phenomenal.
Really cool.
I played some a few weeks ago on campus.
I think it's amazing.
Right, yeah.
We've really invested a lot of time and resources into making the story even more immersive.
Right.
And so it's really cool. Like you're playing from the perspective of Jim Raynor, and you're on the bridge of the Hyperion, and we've got branching missions and stuff. And it's really cool. And a lot of the cinematics are actually done with the in-game 3D engine as compared to pre-rendered.
Right.
And so the cinematics guys that do the pre-rendered stuff are helping us out with that, because that non-interactive storytelling is really their expertise. And so that's really exciting. And we've got the Monk for Diablo 3 on the show floor, as well as a preview of Cataclysm on the show floor. So you can play the level 6 through 10 experience for the Goblins and the Worgen.
Right.
Let's talk about the Monk, which is the new class you announced for Diablo 3. A lot of questions questions around what class you're going to announce for Diablo. Tell us about why the Monk was the class that you guys chose to add to the Diablo lore.
You know, I know that the Monk has been on the list of classes. I mean, the Monk was on the list of classes potentially when we were talking about, the Death Knight. We were talking about the Monk as an option, and the guys that are play Diablo 3 are also big Warcraft fans, and so it's just one of those things that's on our list of features, and it finally bubbled to the top, and some cool discussions came up around it, and I think the Diablo 3 guys have done a great job with it. They just hosted the panel, and we're talking about it. I was watching the footage from upstairs. It looks great. Yep,
it looks phenomenal. I think people are excited about that. There's still one class left to unveil.
Yeah. I saw you get information out of Mike this morning. You're not going to get that out of me this afternoon.
You want to announce the next class? We wouldn't do that too.
Are we going to learn more about the lore and the story of the first game of StarCraft 2 here at the panels?
Is there a lore panel for StarCraft 2?
I don't know if there's a lore panel.
There's a StarCraft 2 lore panel tomorrow. I think
there's a StarCraft 2 lore panel tomorrow. Then you'll definitely, Metzen will be on that panel for sure.
So we'll get to hear more about the story that's
Metzen's really passionate about the StarCraft 2 lore, and I'm sure that he'll talk about some of the backstory with Jim Raynor and Kerrigan.
Because some surprise guests, I heard. Remember, there could be surprise guests.
The franchise is 10 years old now, and so we've got a lot of new fans that are new to the Blizzard community that may not be familiar with the StarCraft lore, and so we've got some great stuff in store in terms of the campaign that'll introduce players that are new to the StarCraft experience, new to the StarCraft lore, to some of the events that took place during the original game.
There's some fun stuff that happens here as well. Obviously, the Aussie concert tomorrow night. We talked about that. You were at the sound check. That's going to be epic, and we're going to air that here on DirecTV. Also tonight, we've got the costume contest, machinima contest. What do you think of all the creativity that the fans bring to BlizzCon?
It's unreal. It's amazing. The costume contest winner from last year was the Draenei on the Turtle Mount, and it was an amazing piece of
machinery
and costume design and everything. And I'm blown away, right? Like, I'm not a big costume guy myself. Like, I like to think that I'm creative, but there's just so many people that are so much more creative than the average person that come out and attend these events. And the costume contest is by far one of the highlights of the event, because again, it's very it's a great example of how passionate our community is about the worlds that we've created for them to experience.
We had a question. We did. We had a question in the forum about one thing that we haven't heard anything about since we've been here at BlizzCon, which is the mobile applications that have been released recently. Are there any StarCraft mobile applications, or how do you view the mobile division within your company?
Right. So this past year we released the mobile armory for the iPhone.
Right.
We also released a security authenticator. That's a digital security token, which is great. I encourage everyone that has an iPhone to download that authenticator.
Absolutely.
It's a free app on the iTunes store,
and write down your serial number before you lose your phone.
World of Warcraft accounts are more valuable on the black market than a stolen credit card account, and a lot of people don't realize that. And so we encourage everyone to take measures to protect their account. I carry a physical authenticator for my World of Warcraft account because my mobile device didn't make the cut for the first pass of devices for the mobile authenticator. But we also have the mobile authenticator for some other devices as well. But the overall strategy as it relates to the mobile stuff is really not to make games for the mobile device so much as to find ways that we can leverage the mobile devices to enhance the PC experience, right? So, I mean, the mobile armory is a great start, but I mean, I think we have so much potential to do some really cool stuff there. Whether you could monitor auctions or monitor guild chat are some great ideas, and we're talking about all sorts of cool stuff. I wish we could implement it faster. I wish we could implement it faster because I want this stuff for myself.
I do too. I'm waiting for guild chat. That's the only one that I want.
Hopefully there'll be more for more devices. Well, Frank, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow, but enjoy the costume contest tonight. Of course, we'll be showing that to everyone here live on DirecTV. All right, now we're going to head on over to Jo, and she is hanging out in the Diablo 3 gameplay area. She's getting to go hands-on with the game. I'm jealous. Jo, how is it?
It's amazing. I'm so surprised. They actually finally decided to tell us what a new class was, the Monk, and you can actually play it here live on the game floor. So we have a lot of people still working with the other characters, but a lot of people wanted to test drive the Monk, so I figured we'd test drive it for you people at home. But the Monk is a new class. They have the choice of a male or a female, but unfortunately the Monk is only available in male. So we get to play a guy today.
Conversation.
Sorry.
You answered it well.
You guys should put on your